Scientists just officially discovered a spider in the Amazon that disguises itself as the zombie fungus from The Last of Us.
With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon.
Humanoid soldier robots arrive in Ukraine as battlefield technology test begins.
Welcome back to Dark Dive Reacts. Today we're going to take a look at some creepy and strange TikToks. Viewer discretion is advised. All claims made are alleged, and any opinions made in this episode are my opinions alone. This is for entertainment purposes only. Let's take a dark dive.
When it's 2 a.m. in Appalachia and you hear something walking on your roof, no you didn't. Don't be this guy and feel like you have to go investigate, because you're probably not going to like what you find. The no you didn't rule has kind of become a way of life in Appalachia. If you hear something call your name, no you didn't. If you see something peek through your curtains, no you didn't. If you hear something walking on your roof outside your window, no you didn't, because this guy found out that's usually better. These mountains are full of things, both natural and supernatural, that you're better off just not coming face to face with, because it usually doesn't end well, one way or the other. And I'm not quite sure what this guy captured on camera. It's weird. Maybe it's a hoax, I don't know. But either way, you don't want this thing on your roof. Tell me in the comments what you think it is.
Fuck is that? What in the fuck?
E.T.
Wait a minute. Hey!
No thank you.
What's that? Oh, a study was done to figure out exactly what happens to your body when you have Celtic salt in the morning with a half glass of water, and the findings are wild. Tell me more! Yeah, this is awesome. The study was done where they took a group of people that had Celtic salt in the morning with a half glass of water, and what happened next was awesome. They figured out, first of all, that most people in the morning don't have all the minerals their body needs because of course, the time they were sleeping, it depletes. And our body needs 92 minerals, where the Celtic salt has most of these minerals, not everything, but just about all of them. So when they have this in the morning, their body actually gets hydrated because it pulls the water into the cells. But not only that, now they are restoring the minerals that their body needs to function as a normal human being throughout the day. This helped people wake up much faster in the morning and also gave them better energy throughout the day. Okay.
I keep Celtic salt in our cabinet, and I actually prefer it over iodized salt. It just gives so much more flavor. So I think I'm going to have to try this tomorrow morning.
Scientists just officially discovered a spider in the Amazon that disguises itself as the zombie fungus from The Last of Us. So obviously everybody should already know of this, but cordyceps is real, and it's a parasitic fungus that infects insects, takes over their bodies, and consumes them from the inside out. So it's obviously not cute. This is literally the exact zombie fungus that The Last of Us is based off of.
Apocalyptic type stuff you see in movies, but what's more frightening here is that it's actually happening.
And these scientists have now officially found a brand new spider in the Ecuadorian Amazon that evolved to look exactly like it. This researcher was on a hike during the nighttime through the rainforest, and he saw what he thought was a clump of cordyceps growing on a leaf, so he reached out to touch it, but it moved. It wasn't the fungus at all, it was literally just a spider wearing the fungus as a costume. They're saying that these spiders actually evolved those hairy yellowish things on their body to perfectly mimic the look of a cordyceps infection. And this is what makes it even crazier, because after the discovery was published, scientists started searching science photos from around the world, and they found spiders doing the exact same thing all over Vietnam, Uganda, Madagascar, and Brazil, so it's not just one spider. The disguise works because nothing in nature wants to go near the zombie fungus, so the spider just became it.
I don't like spiders. That's a hard pass for me.
With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Doesn't work out.
So you tell us we're summoning a demon with AI, and then you put it in the robots you're building?
Our robot has a real brain. It's got the real world AI, so it tells us the leader in real world AI.
Let me remember, what did that demon call itself in the Bible?
Oh yeah, Legion.
But even 5,000 robots, that's the size of a Roman legion. FI, which is like a little scary thought, like a whole legion of robots. I'd be like, whoa. But I think we'll literally build a legion, at least one legion of robots this year, and then probably 10 legions next year. And I don't know, it's kind of a cool unit, you know, units of legion. So probably 50,000-ish next year.
And don't think for a second that he's stopping at 50,000.
I can tell you now, nobody will remember that Tesla ever made a car. They will only remember the Optimus, and that he is going to make 1 billion of those. And it is going to be the most transformative technology product ever made in the history of humanity.
If you read like the plotline for Terminator, it's actually pretty smart.
Is Skynet real? How real is the prospect of killer robots annihilating humanity?
20% likely, maybe 10%.
On what time frame?
5 to 10 years.
I honestly don't know how I feel about AI. I think it's unfortunate that people are losing their jobs. You know, a lot of artists aren't getting work, but I think that their benefits of having AI deeply outweigh the negatives.
Humanoid soldier robots arrive in Ukraine as battlefield technology test begins. These robots were deployed for frontline reconnaissance to test the platform's performance and capabilities in a real-world combat environment. The robots have been delivered to Ukraine for battlefield evaluation, marking a new step in the development of robotic combatic systems. The humanoid Phantom MK1 robot was sent by the U.S. Startup Foundation in February, according to the company. Ukraine has increasingly become a real-world testing ground for emerging military technologies, attracting defense firms and startups from the West. The company believes robots could eventually perform dangerous battlefield roles currently carried out by soldiers. He added that the Phantom platform is being developed to handle a range of weapons systems typically used by humans. The foundation is accelerating the development of military-capable humanoid robots with plans to manufacturing up to 50,000 units by the end of 2027. The humanoid stands about 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighs roughly 175 to 180 pounds, and is intended for tasks such as reconnaissance, bomb disposal, and other high-risk ground operations. The company plans to lease the robots rather than sell them outright, with estimated annual leasing cost of around $100,000 per unit. So this is what it's going to be. Who has the best humanoid robots? What country can create the best super soldiers? 'Cause I'm pretty sure 3 robots would probably be able to take out a very large amount of human soldiers. I would put money on a 3v20. Set up the teams in a paintball area. You got 3 robots, and then you got, let's say, 25 US soldiers. If those robots have enough ammo and cover, and those guys aren't using RPGs, let's just say ground combat versus ground combat, AR versus AR, those robots will smoke the humans. So yeah, we'll see how these do in Ukraine.
The idea of war and advanced technology is getting really scary.
Imagine a cylinder connecting 2 invisible points, and we don't see the cylinder. The cylinder is invisible, but on one end, you have one side of your wormhole, and on the other end, you have the other side. This invisible cylinder, we would call a hypercylinder. The reason why it's called a hypercylinder is because it's invisible, because it's extra dimensional, because we don't really see it, but it's still there. How do we visualize what the orbs are doing to the plane in order to create this invisible hypercylinder that's connecting these 2 points? This is how, right here. So notice, it depends on our perspective of how we're looking. There's the orbs right there spinning around the plane. And when we look at this, what is it creating? Look at the shape that it's creating here. It seems obvious once you realize that they're basically making a circle around the plane. If we were to look at it flat from a 2-dimensional perspective, it's obvious what they're doing to the plane. That plane has to be getting shot either forward or backward. Because you sum up the vectors and you realize, oh, they zero out right at the middle. It's creating a cylinder. It's creating a cylinder around the plane in hyperspace, I guess you could call it, right?
Wow. If you're interested in supporting our channel but also want to get something out of it for yourself, We sell these UV reactive mushroom tapestries on our website, clothandbottleco.com. The website is in the description of this episode. We also sell cloth diapers. So if anybody in your family is interested in cloth diapering, you can message me personally or make a purchase on our website. You spend over $30, all of your items ship for free.
Have you ever watched the ghost cams at the Willard Public Library? Supposedly the building is so haunted that they've set ghost cameras up to catch paranormal activity, and you can find it all streaming live on their website. This is something that has just recently been brought to my attention by the creator that I've tagged in my description, so of course, when I heard about this, I had to go see it for myself. And it's true, they actually have ghost cams on at all times. On their website, they also give you a history of the known apparition that has been reported there the most, and they call her the Gray Lady. They've even had police summoned there because of a security alarm that was triggered, and according to these officers, one of them went inside to investigate and the other watched from the parking lot. Well, the officer that was in the parking lot said that he saw the ghost of a woman with a shadowy figure beside her through the window of the building. So when his colleague emerged, he asked if he had seen them, but they found no trace of anyone inside. Here's another story from the library assistant that's posted on their website. It says, shortly after being hired, a library assistant bravely addressed the Gray Lady while walking alone on the adult services floor. She politely asked not to be frightened and suggested the ghost communicate in gentler ways. Moments later, the elevator doors opened unexpectedly, the call light illuminated despite no one being inside. The assistant approached cautiously, finding the elevator empty. She believed this encounter was the Gray Lady's response, welcoming her to the staff. I guess when the bathrooms were remodeled, the toilets started flushing on their own, so they had to call plumbers in, but there was no cause found. There was also a new projector that was installed that would move up and down by itself, so they called technicians in to investigate, but they couldn't figure it out either. They have this picture of the library founder's daughter hanging above the copier machine, and some people think that she could be the Gray Lady.
Took me a second to see the figure that was like crawling on the ground. That freaked me out when I finally seen it.
Bro, these people are really playing in our faces now, because ain't no way that the Epstein list came out and McDonald's is on the list, and McDonald's comes out with a new burger and they have the CEO trying it out, and this man look like he don't even want to eat it. He barely want to say his name. Are you kidding me? Bro, tell me y'all seen this video. If not, check this out.
It's Kay here with, you've heard about it.
No, we didn't.
Here it is, the Big Arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product.
We don't care.
It is so good.
Just
I'm going to
eat
do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch.
Just do
so
it.
So here we
Do
go.
it right now.
Holy cow.
Just eat it.
God, that is a big burger.
Is that why they say holy cow? Because they want you to think it's a cow, but it's really, I don't know, y'all. I'm just trying to make, because why would they want you to think it's, the
Big Arch
kids?
sauce.
Y'all see that?
Some lettuce. So
Hold
there's
on.
so much going on.
Y'all think these people are playing with us? Y'all think it's a game? Look what's behind him. Look, Herman Petty, right? Isn't that what he's being? And matter of fact, he look like a Herman. He don't look like his name is Chris.
Some lettuce. So, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing. I don't even know how to attack it.
Translation, he does not want to eat it.
There's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out.
We know.
All right, the moment of truth.
Look at that. Where's the bite?
That is so good. That's a big bite for a big arch.
Where's the bite?
Distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger. It also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product.
Did he just say it's unlike anything else on our menu? So what did McDonald's got some diabolical stuff going on, and he's at the top of it, y'all. Y'all not gonna sit here and tell me that he didn't purposely move out the way so y'all can see that he's being petty. And it's the year 2026. If you're still feeding your children, I don't know what to tell y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this video, man. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. They told us. Peace in.
I'm still not eating McDonald's.
Hello? This is your mother. Are you there? Are you coming home? Well, you know,
It's sad because they're like disappearing right before our very eyes, just shriveling up.
What if you've never actually experienced your own death? There's a theory called quantum immortality that says every time you should die, you don't. Here's how it works. Every life or death moment splits reality. In one version, you die, in another, you survive. Both timelines exist. But you can only be conscious in the version where you're still alive. So from your perspective, you always make it. That car that almost hit you, that surgery that barely worked, that moment that statistically should have ended you, maybe in another timeline it did. But the disturbing part is you would never know. Your awareness would automatically shift into the branch where you survived over and over again. Meaning you might already be the version of yourself that beat impossible odds multiple times, while other versions didn't. You're not lucky, you're just the one that kept continuing. And if that's true, how many times have you already died somewhere else? As always, stay weird.
When I gave birth to my daughter, I had to have a very risky surgery. And they had to have blood on hand just in case, there was blood loss during the surgery. I didn't find out what I was diagnosed with until a week before the C-section. I had so many ultrasounds done during that pregnancy, and they never caught what was wrong with me until a week before. And it's only by chance that I asked them one thing. I said, "Hey, did you check for this?" And they came back and they rushed me to triage inside the hospital. I had my whole family with me, and they told me what was going on. And so for an entire week, I was like scared to death that I was going to die. I wrote a letter to my husband and my children in case I didn't come home from the hospital and they had to bring the baby home without me. It was just very frightening. But I think a lot about that time and just wonder how things would have been had I not made it.
Guys, you know how I say they love to put the truth in plain sight? Now, this is exactly what I mean. Watch this.
Blow up, it's not always an accident. What do you mean, not an accident? Who is this guy singing? And who am I, a conspiracy fly? Did you know NASA means deceive in Hebrew? I did not. The Denver airport was built by the Illuminati.
Now, is it just me or did that fly just say NASA means to deceive in Hebrew? Now I'm about to show you how NASA is trolling everyone. So we are in the book of Genesis chapter 3 verse 13. This is where Satan deceived Eve to eat the forbidden fruit. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Let's just take a closer look at this word beguiled here. And the Hebrew translation for beguiled is, well, you guessed it, NASA, which means to lead astray, to delude, to beguile, or to deceive. So NASA literally means to deceive. You guys ever wondered, what is this red thing going through NASA's logo is? Well, let me show you. Yeah. But did you guys also know that if you type in flat earth backwards into Google, you're not gonna believe what pops up. Look at this. NASA.gov. Must be a coincidence, right? And of course, all this was for entertainment purposes only. Of course, NASA doesn't mean deceive in Hebrew. And of course, that red thing going through their logo is not a snake's tongue. Of course it's not. But what do you guys think about this? Y'all let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, follow me, and share this. Let's get this one out to the people. And like always, God bless.
I still think we are on a globe.
Hello. Welcome again to Bad Design, Food Edition. Today we're going to look at some interesting foods, and while this was clearly done intentionally, it's also just good advice, so I decided to leave it in. Someone needs to re-examine their abbreviations. Presented without comment. You guys ever feel like a brand gets you? Who did this? Who did this? Who, in the name of God, look at your font. Just pick a different font. And finally, as it's grocery store related, who specifically chose to put the spill station next to...
Can I tell you about the Tonga castaways? 1965, 6 boys decide to skip school. What they choose to do is go fishing, but they don't have a boat. So they steal a boat. Storm comes in. They end up near a island that they see in the distance. They abandon the ship and they go to this island. They are stuck on this island for 15 months. They get really desperate. They figure out, we have to survive. We have to get through this together. And so one of the nights, one of the boys started a fire. They kept this fire running for over a year. They started eating on fish, seagulls, and then one day, 15 months later, this lobster captain literally just sees this island. He sees a bunch of naked boys on this island. And he literally gets out his binoculars and they're waving at him. And he goes up and he radios back. And he says, hey, they're telling me this is their names. Can you give me any information? And then they come back on the intercom and say, those are our boys. We've been told that they were dead. We've had funerals. And so they get the boys back on the boat and they throw a huge celebration. They couldn't attend the celebration they had for them because apparently the guy whose boat they stole was suing them.
One of the keys to finding out the truth about who actually killed Charlie Kirk is this man, George Zinn.
On the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination, immediately George Zinn gets up and says, I did it. And he kind of gets dragged. Well, he told multiple nurses and doctors that he did it because he was being paid to do it.
Why would he do something like that? Does someone pay him like Candace is claiming? And if so, who?
I was born in Athens, Greece.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was adopted when I was a year and a half, so I'm actually a naturalized citizen.
You grew up LDS, right?
Yeah.
And but didn't go to college.
I did. Yeah.
Okay,
I went to the. I consider myself an alumni.
Well, here's something interesting. FBI, CIA, NSA, BYU. Members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints have long been rumored to be special targets for recruitment in government intelligence and security agencies. I'm sure a lot of you already know that. Here is a CIA document that I found substantiating some of those claims. Okay, in the document it says, Office of Personnel Representatives travel to BYU, Brigham Young University, to recruit and meet with senior officials of the Mormon Church to discuss agency recruitment of church members.
Did you go on a mission?
Yeah, I went to Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Virginia?
Yeah.
What mission in Virginia?
Virginia Roanoke mission at the time.
Mission in Virginia. I wonder what else is in Virginia. Anyway, I'm sure that location was a coincidence yet again. Also, another fact, the CIA has been known historically to recruit from missionaries, which they say has received some pushback from LDS Church in more recent years. I guess they really didn't appreciate the CIA coming in and infiltrating their community, but that's another story there. For our purposes, in terms of George Zinn, we now have 2 points of possible intelligence recruitment. His time in college and also his years as a missionary. Okay, we obviously don't have documents like, oh, look right here, George Zinn, member of the CIA. But what I will say is that, boy, has he really been everywhere.
Shoot me, I did it. Shoot me, I did it. And he also was he was on the scene for 9/11, and he called in a bomb threat to not the Boston, but one of the other marathons. He's clearly an agent.
All the things that line
That's a spy. That's a spy. The reason why a dude of any nationality would show up at a whole bunch of major world events like that is because they're a part of organizations that orchestrate world events called intelligence agencies. That's a fucking spy.
He's an effing spy, says Ian Carroll.
Did you know you're being manipulated and taken advantage of by every podcaster and TikToker in the world? You know that yesterday I posted about the Epstein files, UFOs, and Bad Bunny for no reason other than the fact that it would get more views than my previous 10 posts of me riding my mule? I'm Tom Green. That's why society is screwed up.
Thanks for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed the videos. If I earned your subscription, Thank you. Please drop a comment and a like to help the channel grow and keep coming back for more.